The first 5 rounds of the Race Hardline Midwest Powersource Cup Series were at ovals, but this week we head to the 7-turn road course here in upstate New York, Watkins Glen International. This place is fast. It's known as a super speedway of road racing. It's got a lot of banking, it's got a lot of straightaways, it's got a bus stop and a bunch of curbs to jump over, and it's time for round 6 here in the Race Hardline Midwest Powersource Cup Series. Finian, this is one of my favorite racetracks, actually my favorite racetrack by a long shot here, but this is certainly going to be a fun race here tonight.
Yeah, every time we've gone to Watkins Glen, we've had some fantastic racing, be it in GT cars or even in stock cars. So this should be a good one here today. 35 laps on the clock tonight, and a 15-lap stage, first stage, until we and then we're going to complete the rest of the race. So I'm going to quickly give a points update here as well.
Sure.
If I may.
Go ahead.
All right, so Daniel Roper is leading the points, 203 to his name, and then followed in behind, 10 points behind Nick Massey after a good finish last week is in second, and then Thomas Bresci the third at 182 points, so 11 behind Roper, so very close up towards the front.
All right, well, Watkins Glen International is a 7-turn road course. Let's take a look at the layout for tonight's race. Located in the western New York region of New York State, Watkins Glen is located just south of Seneca Lake. And the 7-turn road course starts on a long front straightaway, over 1,000 feet long, up to the top of 3rd gear, maybe 4th if you're getting excited on the power here, but you head down towards turn 1, known as the 90, a right-hander down to 2nd gear. This place is known for causing all sorts of wheel hop issues, downshifting. You gotta watch those wheel hop problems. As you get downshifting through the gears, the rear wheels will bounce like basketballs, and that can throw your braking performance off and send you for a slide. Then it's a 110-foot climb from turn 2 to the top of the S's, turns 3 and 4, before you head down a long back straightaway to the bus stop chicane. A quick right, left, left, right combination. But again, we see climbing the S's here, lots of grip available in the cold, very little grip available in the heat like it is here today, so watch the drivers be spinning the tires up through the S's. Then we head down towards that bus stop, also known as the inner loop or the chicane, and there's a bunch of curbs here that you're going to want to hop to make sure you get the fastest and straightest line through there. Got to make sure you hit those curbs just right. If you hit them wrong, you'll end up in the gravel trap. As we make our way through the bus stop chicane, it's now time to enter the carousel, a 12-degree corner and 180 degrees of radius. Around you go, and there's a curb on the inside. You want to hook that, get the power down. This is a place where you can run multiple lines here, so different drivers will take different apexes to try to get into a competitive advantage. Then we head down a short chute towards turn number 6, the only real left-hander at this racetrack, back down to 2nd gear through this complex. Then you got to swing your car back to the left side of the racetrack to set yourself up for turn number 7. This is probably one of the trickiest corners on the track just because you have so little time to set up for it, but that is a lap around Watkins Glen. And we're qualifying here right now, Finian. And the one that was quickest in practice was that number 41 of John Hathaway Jr. We're watching John Hathaway in that number 41 car right now, working his way down the back straightaway, heading towards that bus stop chicane, and this is where you got to jump those curbs. You see him being real aggressive through here, but you can't get an off track. It'll invalidate your lap.
Yeah, really, I think Hathaway is a guy we're going to have to keep an eye on. The only driver to get in under 11, 1 minute 11, ran at 1 minute 10.7 in practice. The next fastest car was Thomas Bresci with a 111.3. So I think Hathaway might have something for these guys tonight.
And Thomas Bresci just rolling out now for his qualifying effort. What about last week, Finian, at Indianapolis, that 41 car? John Hathaway was successful in winning that race last week, and that was a very different racetrack than it is here today, Finian, but he seems to be the quickest one. So how do you race? I mean, what parallels can you draw between Indianapolis and Watkins Glen, or is there none at all?
I mean, not really, honestly. I would say it is... I would say probably just the way you manage yourself with the car, I would say it's probably similar, but in terms of driving, I think they are pretty different.
We see Jared Matthew in a Lego-sponsored number 27 Camaro here this week. Also, Liam Sheen has yet to qualify, but he is running the SimTV paint scheme here this weekend. He's got SimTV on board that number 96 car. Joel Holloway in the number 66 out on track right now, coming around. He will qualify P4 on the grid. And Jordan McKeeboy working his way through the bus stop now. Again, this is a spot where you kind of want to tiptoe here in the hot conditions, obviously. Let's take a look at our track temp, actually. It was 110 earlier, still 110 now, Finian, but with the cloud cover mostly cloudy, that could change quite a bit.
Yeah, I was going to say, we saw actually in practice too when we were watching these guys go around the track. We saw a cloud that covered the entire track at one point. So temperature expected to change drastically here at some points in the race, and that can really throw some of these guys for a loop.
And as we were watching, it already ticked down a degree with some cloud cover over the far side of the course. So McKeevoy comes out of turn number 7, back up onto the front straightaway to complete his second qualifying lap, and we'll see where that puts him on the grid. Will he improve a 1:14.069? It'll move him up to 5th. Kevin Jadrosich, the number 6 car, is out here on his qualifying lap right now. P8 at the moment, working his way down the back straightaway. Upwards of 180 miles an hour here in prime conditions, and he'll head down into the bus stop, trying to carry some of that speed. Most of the corners here, though, Finian, besides, actually, they're all pretty much second gear corners. Yeah, you could probably get away with 3rd in the bus stop with all the torque that you have available.
Yeah, there are some corners you can keep, but like you're saying, they're pretty much all in second gear. But almost all of them drive completely differently.
Well, that's the thing, is it might be a misconception that just because you take them in the same gear, they're the same kind of corner. But we have some 90-degree right-handers, we have, you know, sweeping left-handers and bus stops and all sorts of fun stuff. But qualifying looks to be almost complete here. Oh, we see, I think that's the 27 car pulling off the racetrack, Jared Matthew. Come across the line here, and that's Jadrosich's second lap, a 1:21.251. Not going to be good enough to improve.
No, and didn't even count that lap. I think had an off track, so
yep.
He will finish the qualifying session in 9th.
Oh, Bresci.
I don't believe anyone else.
Bresci in the number 24 is P2 on the board, Finian, separated by 0.3 of a second from John Hathaway Jr. Now, we walked into this thing thinking Bresci was probably the one to beat here, but Hathaway has been putting on a great performance and outran a lot of drivers last week in that 41 car. So maybe you got to keep an eye on that 41. A 1:10.9 is no slouch around here in the hot temps.
Yeah, just improved his time by about 0.2 of a second in that last stretch coming to the checkered. So, again, another time under the 1:11, only driver to do so tonight. So definitely we've got to keep an eye on that 41 as well as the 24. I think our winner is probably going to come in, unless something is to happen. I would think our winner is going to be either that 41 or the 24.
Liam Sheen crosses the line in 8th with a 1:14.378. The only car left out on track is the number 24, Bresci. He'll probably call it quits here. Does he improve? Doesn't look like it, a 1:12.1. And we're going to see the tire fall off be a big deal here tonight, Finian. The tires get real greasy and real slick very quick.
Yeah, that's something these guys got to watch out for. Especially also they have to make sure to not use up their tires, because it's very easy on a road course to try to do overdrive every corner. And you're not going to have any tires by the end. You're going to be slipping and sliding all over the place, and it's only going to get worse. So these guys got to make sure they manage their tires, manage their rubber as the race goes on.
All right, so 15 seconds left here in qualifying. It looks like John Hathaway, a win last week. He'll sit on pole this week in that number 41 Monster Energy Fusion. And in just a moment, we'll get gridded up. We want to thank everybody for joining us, and if you're chilling in chat right now, please consider donating to David Cater's GoFundMe. David Cater was a very influential friend and iRacer that has recently passed away, and his family has started a GoFundMe. So please, if you have the means, donate a couple dollars there just to help out his family. That would be greatly appreciated. On this pace lap here, we will observe a moment of silence for the majority of the pace lap, and we'll let the starting grid roll through as we do that. But gridding up now here, Finian, looks like our field size is about 14 here tonight, so a little bit smaller than normal, but that also means that the congestion will be less bad, and people can really get into a rhythm here.
Yeah, and also another thing to look out, too, is that the time shifted about an hour and a half, so if you look at the temperatures right now, it is 85 degrees on the track, so cool down significantly compared to qualifying.
Yeah, you mentioned the temperatures changing here, Finian. Let's take a look at those. You mentioned 85 degrees, very cool, significantly cooler than qualifying. As you mentioned, about, what is that? That's a 25-degree difference. That's going to be huge, and they're going to be running really quick lap times, and that might throw some drivers off here because they were just slipping and sliding around, and that was going to be a ton of grip available. We're just waiting on Corey Blevins in the 25 and Nick Massey in the 48 to grid up and get ready to go racing here at Watkins Glen. 35 laps here tonight, stage break at lap number 15. And people will probably all come down and take tires, but that is everyone we're waiting for with the exception of Corey Blevins. Big shadow over the far side of the course right now from the top of the S's all the way to the carousel. And that's going to make that section significantly cooler.
Yeah, and we honestly, and we saw that too last night in the IndyCar series at Barber. That when a cloud came over, it dropped the track by about 5-7 degrees at some points. So it can definitely change. It'll probably get significantly cooler as the track is already kind of cool as it is. It might drop a few degrees, but still, it's gonna definitely affect these guys. And also talk about parts left in the sunlight. Those parts might heat up as time goes on.
Absolutely. So we are going to observe now a moment of silence for David Cater, the friend and iRacer that has just recently passed away. Again, please consider donating to that GoFundMe that we have posted in the live chat and the video description. Thank you, and we'll be back with you in just a moment. Now we're back. Well, thank you for that moment of silence. Now, we saw the number 41 car pull off to the side. Looks like it was just a hardware issue that he seems to have gotten sorted out, but that was kind of a precarious place to stop there on that S's portion. Your mic's still muted there, Finian. Getting back into the swing of things here.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to make sure my mic was muted for the moment of silence. I didn't want something in my background to trigger that. But what I was saying is that I was trying to go through the voice chat to figure out what happened to him. Glad to see that he is that his car is working, everything else is working just fine, so he can rejoin the race, because that could have been very unfortunate for pretty much one of the most dominant cars here to not start the race.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure how much that would matter. His pace is so much quicker, but this is a pretty short race here. Not a lot of time to make up for mistakes. Pace cars rolling through turn 6 and turn 7 here at Watkins Glen. My brain is fried tonight. All right, 35 laps on the board. The 41 of John Hathaway is your pole sitter. The outside of the front row is the 24 of Thomas Bressi. Through turn number 7. Leader can go at his leisure. Coming down to the 90, turn number 1. Green flag in the air here at Watkins Glen. Went up through the
pretty orderly start down to turn 1.
Yeah, actually everyone stayed in line pretty much here, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves here. We still have the trickiest part of the racetrack yet to come, at least in warm conditions, and that is the top of the S's. But so far, it looks like we're pretty... Oh, the 66 slides up the racetrack, almost gets into McKeevoy up through the S's. We're side by side there. Liam Sheen in the number 96 behind him, trying to find a place to go.
I think he saw the 66 slip up and is looking at that as an opportunity to try to make the pass here for about 7th place. There goes Liam Sheen to the inside.
And looks like he'll grab that spot, locks up. He's going to miss the chicane, does Liam Sheen. And he'll have to come to a complete stop, and he does, and he'll rejoin the racetrack, but a big mistake. Hathaway, whoa, spun out, Finian. Hathaway in the 41, slow in turn 9, or turn 5 there.
Yeah, trying to see where he ended up.
Yeah, let's quickly go back and take a look at that. Ah, just slipped on the curbing on corner exit here. Here's a look at it. And this is what we're going to see a lot tonight here, Finian. People getting pretty greedy on the curbs, but just hooks it the wrong way and loops the car around, keeps it off the wall, but going to lose a lot of those positions. Just not a good start for that 41.
Yeah, I was going to say, at the very least, he was able to keep that pretty far clean off the wall, so not going to have any damage. He's going to have to try to chase down those positions he lost. And remember, we are going to lap 15 till we have a stage caution, so he has that at least to look forward to as far as the overall win is concerned, but could potentially lose some valuable stage points here.
Climbs up through the S's, gets back by the 88 of Joshua Adams. Jadrosich ran wide in turn number 1. Brescia has assumed the lead now with a 1.3 second advantage over Nick Massey, runner-up from last week. Tyler Hensley in third in the number 46. Cole Bagunia in the number 7. Riding around in P4 right now. Everyone just trying to get settled in here, Finian.
Yeah, and everyone has done a pretty good job of doing so. A little bit of a hectic first half of the first lap, but everyone else seems to be settled in, especially Thomas Bresci right now, putting a nice second lead over Nick Massey.
Here comes the 41 to the inside of Joel Holloway. Takes a look into turn 6. Can't quite get it done. He'll look again into turn 7 and get to the inside. Looks like he'll take it this time. But they're door to door. A little bit of contact there. A little bit of rudder. Ooh, more contact on corner exit.
Yeah, Holloway was not determined to give that position up easily. He wants to fight for it here. As they head into turn 1, they're going to both be even, and it looks like Hathaway's going to win this battle.
And behind him, Jadricic and Adams trading spots there. Jadricic runs wide on exit. The 88 crosses him over. Whoa, we got one way wide behind him. It's Cody Tabor in the 2, and Liam Sheen will take advantage of that and head himself up into 11th place. Just keep an eye on this Adams and Jadricic battle as they climb the S's here. Pretty close. But Jadricic now has to hold off Jared Matthew, charging hard in the 27 Lego car.
Yeah, Matthew started in 12th, is now up to 10th, but now fighting Jadricic as they head into the bus stop. And it looked like he might have tried to pass on the outside going to the bus stop, or I guess, will it be inside?
I don't know what you'd consider
Left side of the track.
Whatever corner is not the way you want to be. Corey Belevins, crashed in the S's, the 25 car, Finian. Hard contact, that left front totally smashed in. Let's go back quickly, take a look, and this is probably just an unstable turn number 4. Yeah, just at the top of the S's, just gets loose. The car gets light there, and it makes it real tricky to hang on to. So Belevins already going to be struggling with the damaged race car here on lap number 4.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate for Belevins. A bad day, already gone worse. Started in 11th, now dead last in the field in 14th. McKeevoy and Holloway getting closer now. This is for position number 6, but where's that 41 car? Just ahead of them in 5th, so he's got another 10 or so laps to rebound from this, but he's got 3.2 seconds to make up to Cole Bagunia. And lap times are significantly quicker than they were in qualifying. Wow, you see the 41 jump the curb at the top of the S's. That's a dangerous spot to do that. And Holloway dogging McKeevoy here into the bus stop. See if he'll take a look this time. Nope. He'll follow him through. One of the things we're going to watch a lot here tonight, Finian, is also brake temperatures. Let's ride on board the right front of this number 41 car and see how much he's working that brake pads here. We'll head down into turn number 6 and we'll see the application. And you'll probably see these rotors begin to glow. There they go. Yeah, that's probably one of the heaviest braking zones on the track other than the bus stop, so.
I'm going to stay on board here all the way until turn number 1. And get a good look at it. You can see on the track map there where we are heading down to the 90. Another hard braking zone. And the track falls away from you. You see how they get red hot. And they take a second to cool off because you're kind of dragging that brake and trailing it as you work your way through that corner. So that 41 car working his equipment over hard. Meanwhile, behind him, McKeevoy and Holloway, the closest battle on the racetrack right now. 0.3 of a second separating them.
Yeah, they're fighting, as well as Bagunia and Hensley are fighting for 3rd place up towards the front, but neither of them are chasing down Bressie and Massey, are kind of in a league of their own.
Yeah, this Hensley and Bagunia battle's getting pretty close here, Finian, and these guys are both extremely good race car drivers, and we haven't seen them road race before, I don't think. Is this our first road race with these guys? I think it is.
I think it is too.
But Hensley is showing his stuff here, sitting P3 right now.
But he's got a Monster Energy Ford Fusion closing in on his mirrors, so he's got to watch out in these next 10 laps before the stage break.
I'm still watching that McKeevoy and Holloway battle. They're still just dogging each other back here for that number 6 spot. McKeevoy hangs onto it for now, but Holloway wants it back. Out up front, nobody has touched Bressie yet in that 24 car. He is out there. Also, we want to put a quick highlight on Cody Tabor driving paint scheme commemorating David Cater. Obviously, we talked about him. Liam Sheen.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Liam Sheen binned it into the pit barrels.
Oh, that's a common mistake that we see quite a bit here. But that SimTV Camry all torn up here early in the going. Let's go back, take a look, and I'm going to assume this is just getting on the power too soon here. And it looks like that might be what it is. Gets down and just throttles up too quick and loops it right around. So easy to do that here with these 750 horsepower cars straight into the barrels. It looks like McKeevoy Finina's dropped a couple spots as well. And let's see if we can find out what happened to him. Let's see if it's down in the bus stop area because I'm still watching the replay from before. And, oh yeah, just gets in there real late, trying to outbrake himself to beat that 66, and traded spots there, and also almost lost a spot to Joshua Adams in the 88 as well. We're back live now, and Joshua Adams isn't letting him get away too far.
No, he isn't. He's still right on his bumper and waiting for the front one to make a mistake. You see, wow, very close into turn one, both of them.
Yeah, McKeeboy really got back down on the brakes there to try to get that car rotated. Turn one is a very tricky corner. I mean, in essence, it's a simple corner in theory, but you get down there, Finian, and the turn-in point is so specific. If you miss that turn-in point by a foot, you're going to really struggle to get that car down to the apex. Now you see the 88 to the inside of McKeeboy on the back straight. He'll probably take this position into the bus stop.
And they're both side by side. Neither driver seems to be letting up, but actually McKeeboy does let up. And he's going to yield that position to Adams, so drop McKeeboy down to 8th place. So 21 is not moving forward and has now lost 2 positions within 2 laps.
Here's a guy moving forward. Hathaway has caught Cole Bagunia in the number 7 car. And is now dogging him in turn number 7, working the end of lap number 7 here in that 41 car. You can see the whole track, this side of the track was covered in shadow. We head down to turn 1. Broad sunlight down here, so we're going to be a little bit slicker on this end of the racetrack, down through turn 1, down to 2nd gear. Hathaway actually shifted after he got into the corner, which is a peculiar way to do things, but it seemed to be working out for him. Climbing the S's, staying tight to the curb, and catching the 7 of Bagunia.
Yeah, he's trying to get a draft now as they head out of the S's and on the back straightaway towards the bus stop, so this is going to be a big run. Does Hathaway have enough here?
I don't think he does. I mean, the draft here is a little bit effective, but not as much as it is in slower cars. So you see him jump the curb there pretty violently, chasing the 7 car down. He's a little bit wide there in the middle. Big curb hop on corner exit, but still can't get the job done.
So it looks like he was trying to put a nose in on the inside of the carousel. Couldn't get it done. Bagunia's going to block him off. And notably, too, looking at their last lap times, they actually seem to be catching Nick Massey up ahead. So could potentially be a 4-way battle for second in a few laps.
Hathaway wants to get around the 7 car. Will he look to the inside in turn 7? Here he comes to the inside. A great move down, crossed him over. And that's kind of the natural progression of turn 6 and 7 there, Finian, as it allows drivers to kind of stay to driver's right at the exit of turn 6 and complete that pass into turn 7. So well done for the 41, moves himself back into 4th.
And you can tell that he's hungry and ready to get as many positions as he can. And all in all, fantastic recovery from him. And honestly, could possibly, if he didn't have the stage, even he might have been able to drive his way up to Bressy with a little bit of strategy and just raw pace.
Well, he's certainly running quick laps. He actually does have the best recorded lap time right now, a 1:11.370. Lap times have dropped off about 2 seconds since the beginning of the race. Working their way through the bus stop now. Hensley, Hathaway, and Bagunia. What about Cody Tabor and Jared Matthew? Oh, Tabor. Big curb jump in turn number 2. And they've changed the curbs since this iRacing scan, but the ones that are existing in this this scan here are a little bit taller and a little bit more aggressive on the tire. You see Tabor losing a lot of speed up through the S's after hitting those, and that's bringing Jared Matthew right to his rear bumper.
Yeah, but notably up towards the front, battle now is on between the 46 and the 41. Hathaway is definitely there as they head towards turn 1.
Yeah, 2 car off the racetrack there just a little bit in the bus stop, but we'll head back up towards the battle for the 3rd spot right now as Hensley is trying to hang on, but Hathaway is coming. Last time by, Hathaway ran 7/10 quicker, so it's just a matter of time at this point. 5 laps of the stage break. When we get back around, we'll have a caution put out. We'll reorganize the field after they get pitted, and we'll go for the next 20 laps after that.
Actually, Hathaway mounted the curbs in the S's.
We've seen a lot of that.
Something you typically want to do.
Now let's sit right on board with the right front suspension cam again. You see the brakes glowing into the bus stop. The suspension working up and over the top of those curbs.
And he is really working it through the bus stop there.
And runs wide in the carousel, trying to set himself up for a run onto the straightaway, but sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. It's a very specific line you have to run to make that happen. But he did get a pretty decent run, just not going to be close enough to do anything with it just yet.
No, he's going to try to outbreak the 46 here and maybe try to get a run. Maybe do what he did to Bagunia here.
Hensley a little bit defensive there heading into turn number 7, but Hathaway close. Can he get the power down and make a look into turn number 1?
Now looks like Hensley got a good launch, but I don't think it's going to deter. Hathaway is going to dive it up the inside. Hathaway gives, Hensley gives him the lane.
Yeah. Oh, a little bit wide contact. The 41, big damage to the left front. Yeah, I think the 46 had to get back on course there, Finian. I'm not sure. I'll have to take another look at that. But my initial impression was that, oh, well, let's get another look at this here. Maybe from up above. That's probably not going to be very good. Let's take a look from TV1 again. Yeah, in my view, the 46 had to get back on the track there, Finian. I think the 41 didn't give him enough room. Maybe expecting Hensley to yield, but you got to give the guy space, and that's not what happened. So a little bit of a contact for a position there. Hathaway up to P3.
Yeah, and I think that's probably where Hathaway is going to stay at the moment, with considering we only have about 4 laps to the end of the stage. Yeah, I was just hearing over the radio. 46 not too happy with the 41 at the moment.
Yeah, I can't blame him for that one. I mean, that's a common incident at Watkins Glen, especially with the way that this scan is configured with the grass on the exit of turn number 1 there. A lot of fighting to get back on course here. Here comes a 7 Begunia to the inside of Hensley. I wonder if Hensley's car's got some suspension damage. It looks like it's hurting his performance just a little bit. Hensley wide again in turn number 1. This time, the 7 gives him room as they climb through the S's. So you mentioned it, Finian, 4 laps to the stage break. Now there's a battle going on for 6th place again. Joel Holloway, Joshua Adams. Adams is running quicker and is catching that number 66 car. Holloway real tight through turn number 2 as we climb the S's.
Yeah, Adams trying to get on the back bumper of him, but Adams seems to be kind of struggling here. I expect him to be a little bit further up the field, just in general pace.
Yeah, some people really take to this road racing stuff. Some of them takes a little bit longer to adjust, and obviously we've been broadcasting these guys for several months now, and we have not seen them on a road course just yet, so it's not a skill that they practice often. But
although I have said that, and Adams did actually, now they look at the numbers, Adams started in 13th, is now up to 7th. So actually pretty good progress, and actually he's trying to take away 6 from Joel Holloway, but Holloway snaking him down the back, one of the back straightaways.
one of the many here at Watkins Glen, depends on how you count them. And there's always that corner discussion of how many turns this place really has.
Ooh.
To the inside, Adams takes a look, but has to back out of it and kind of kills momentum there, but will get the throttle down a little bit sooner than Holloway and might have a run on him down maybe into turn 1, or the next possible spot would be into the bus stop. Closest battle for position on the track is right here, Holloway and Adams. Holloway slow out of turn 1. Will Adams take a look into the S's? No, he'll stay behind.
Yeah, that's a tough place to pass in the S's. I mean, you're not really going to see it pass there unless it's coming to the checkers, really, because it's just such a high risk, low reward, unless it's for the wins. That's really where we're only going to see these guys do that. But I also wanted to point out, too, pits are closed this time by, and no one has come down pit road, so everyone is expected to come during the stage caution.
A little bit surprised by that, actually. You'd think that you would want to get some track position here because it can be hard to pass at the road courses, so I don't know, if I was someone like Hathaway, I might have done that just because I would have been confident in my ability to maintain that lead if I were to get it. The problem is that Hathaway will have to chase Bressie down the old-fashioned way, as now we have a battle on the back straight for 6th. Holloway and Adams dogging each other down the back straight, but Adams has to sit behind him another time through turn number 6. And coming to the end of the stage here, how much do you push here, Finian? I mean, it's a little bit risky.
Yeah, unless you have the driver directly in front of you, I would say probably just back off just a little bit and save your stuff for the next half of this race. But you can definitely, Adams, in his position, he wants to try to get around Holloway because he's right there. And he has about 2 laps to do so.
Well, another guy that's got 2 laps to get something done is John Hathaway. Can he get back up to 2nd? Nick Massey is just 0.5 of a second up the road, and Hathaway's closing fast.
Yeah, actually, looking at their lap times, Hathaway closed in about 0.7 last lap alone. I didn't think he would catch Nick Massey, but I think he might here within a lap or 2.
Again, that would put, if they come out of the pit stops the same way, that will put that 41 on the outside of Bressie. And I always told you, Finian, I like that outside on the restarts here. A lot of people don't think that that's a great place to be, but I'm a big fan. Meanwhile, that battle for 6, here comes Adams right to the rear bumper of the 66. It might have been a little bit of contact there as they come out of the carousel. Side by side, the 66 on the inside, the 88 on the outside, but, ooh, Adams really backed out of that. guys are fighting pretty hard here for one more spot.
You definitely are, and they're going to have one more lap to do so. Meanwhile, in the S's, the 41 and 48, they're dogging it right now as they head towards the bus stop.
Yeah, this is only about half the course left for Hathaway to get something done here. And I don't know, maybe Hathaway sits here in third and hopes that he'll have the inside lane for the restart and be able to dive underneath Bressie, but they head through the bus stop one final time here for stage number 1.
Oh, and Hathaway very rough over the curbs. And I think that probably sealed his fate right there.
Well, thankfully it's not the Charlotte Roval here this week, otherwise that car would be destroyed. But the curbs here, you can use them. They don't destroy your car, but you have to be careful because they can throw you out of line. But now, Hathaway maybe taking a look into turn number 7 if he can hit turn 6. But we come to the start-finish line. Thomas Bressie will come out at turn number 7, collect the stage 1 victory. Battle for second behind him. The 48 slips. The 41 might try to set him up here in corner exit, but I don't think it's going to be enough to come out of the final corner. Looks like Nick Massey will take P2 and Hathaway P3.
And behind them, Cole Gunya, solid run, is going to come home in 4th, just ahead of the 46 of Tyler Hensley as he comes across the line. And then we go back to the battle for 6th. That's been raging on as Adams is trying to do one last attempt to get to the inside of the hallway.
Whoa, took a look, but didn't stick it up there. Probably a good idea. And we'll see that yellow flag any moment now, as Bressie and Hathaway are collecting themselves on the back straightaway.
Yeah, now caution will fly once the last car in the lead lap comes across the line, so they're currently in the carousel as the leaders are checking up.
There's the 96 car of Liam Sheen. He's only one lap down, might get a chance to fix some of that damage. He's not running incredible lap times, but certainly competitive with the guys that are around him, so if he could just get some repair done. Oh, Tabor, is that him wide? Yes, it is. Cody Tabor way wide. He might have been hitting the caution button. That's probably why he went so wide there.
Yeah, I think that was too.
All right, well, caution is out. That is stage number 1 completed with 20 laps to go here at Watkins Glen International. Bressie now working his way through turn 6 and 7. Pits will be open probably next time by. See the clouds that have come over this racetrack here, Finian. Almost dark here at the moment. Let's take a look at our track temperature. 101 degrees. It's actually raised.
Yeah. Part of that might be the fact that it was in a lot of sunlight before that came, and actually it just dropped down to 100.
Yeah, I bet you that's what it was. So. It'll probably drop down very quickly under this caution. Looking from above, this is a pretty large cloud system here, so I think this track will cool down before the restart. Yeah, actually, let's keep that up and just watch it go. It'll be fun.
There is a big cloud, 98.
Oh man, that's funny. We'll wait for it to hit 97. There it is.
There it is.
That's fun. All right. Well, the conditions obviously changing very rapidly here with the cloud cover coming over, but that just shows you how much this matters, Finian. The dynamic track systems, maybe at ovals doesn't matter so much, but road courses are so wide geographically. They just take up a lot of area, land area. So one end of the racetrack could be 110 degrees, the other could be 85, and the grip levels between them are an enormous difference.
Yeah, I mean, considering too that the conditions today, it's mostly cloudy. It's not just partly cloudy. You're going to expect some nice big clouds that you can see up in the sky. So they're going to cover the sun for quite a bit of time and cover a big area, as you're talking about.
So Bressie has been your leader ever since the initial start, as John Hathaway almost binned it at the exit of the bus stop, but he has since rebounded to 3rd place. And a little bit of left front damage on that car after contact with Tyler Hensley coming out of turn number 1. A little bit of argy-bargy there. And we'll come down. I 100% know that every single driver here is going to want 4 tires. I'll tell you that.
Oh, absolutely. I think I'm kind of an idiot to not take this. I believe this should be these guys' only stop of the race. We are going to get a restart with about 15, 16 laps to go. Yeah,
this is a very short race in real life and within iRacing here tonight with the Hardline Midwest Powersource Cup Series. You see the front straight now bathed in sunlight. We look from back above. That's an incredible shot there. You can see the whole boot area, the whole carousel is all in shade, and then the whole turn 1 S's complex in bright sunlight.
Yeah, actually, notably too, the temperature dropped all the way down to 93 degrees at the moment. So,
and it's going to go right back up here, I imagine. So temperature swinging
oh,
wildly.
Hathaway just notably slid through his pit stop.
Oh man, and that might hurt him here. Jadrosich also missed it. These pit boxes are not very big. Oh, Bagunia also.
Wow, yeah, Baguni's going to lose a lot of places.
Hathaway will get out P2.
Interesting.
So a couple position swaps here. Cody Tabor has stayed out on the racetrack. I imagine he'll come back in next time by. So pit stop's complete here. Liam Sheen on pit lane. Looks like... Oh, Bagunia's still trying to get in his pit box here, Finian. Now he's leaving.
Yeah.
Nope, now he's getting... Wow, that has taken him way too long to find that.
I'm kind of wondering what... he's still not... He's still trying to find it.
Oh, man, this is... No?
Yeah, I think he has a glitch or something. I think he's gonna have to. Oh, he's gonna get a black flag.
Yeah,
it's going as far back as he is.
I imagine that there is something. You might just have to come around and try again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's gonna do.
And there he goes to leave. But yeah, big mistake there for Bagunia. That's gonna cause him a lot of spots. Came across the line, I believe, fourth actually.
It's possible that
he's gonna drop all the way back.
Possible that is a bug. So hopefully he can get that sorted out. I did notice that there were some people complaining about those pit stalls in particular. Watkins Glen, always saying that you're too far to the right. We saw that in the Fuel Cup Series race here a couple weeks ago. So obviously there might be something not quite right with the Cup cars and the pit stalls here, obviously catching Cole Bagunia off guard. Well, Liam Sheen is trying to repair that car. It doesn't look much better, but... Oh man, that thing is destroyed.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like it might have gotten worse for him. Or it might have just been that bad the whole time. But yeah, Liam Sheen's race not going as well as he would have hoped after a mistake put him into the pit barrels just outside pit road.
Yeah, I'm thinking that damage just wasn't syncing right for you because it's always looked pretty bad. So it's pretty torn up on our end here. Cody Tabor heads down pit lane now. And we'll see if he gets into his box successfully. And I wonder if Bagunia is going to try again, or if he'll just say screw it. Now here he comes down to pit lane. Looks like Tabor is in his stall, or not. There it goes. Tabor is finally in. Now Bagunia, we just got the 1 to green here.
And here comes Bagunia down pit road as well, trying to get his service done.
We'll see.
And
go ahead.
Also, just wanted to point out, do you remember how I said the track temperature was 93 degrees as the caution came out?
Yep.
It's now 104.
Yeah, that's an amazing temperature swing. And it looks like Bagunia is still unsuccessful in getting that car into the box.
Hey, at this point, he's probably going to get out of the car and service it himself.
Well, now he's way too close to the pit wall. That's obviously not going to work.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to get it to work. But yeah, he's definitely screwed right now. He's going to have to come under green and actually have to get back out on track because the pace car is in the bus stop. So
he only has a little bit of time left. I think, did he get it now? You might have to be far. Yeah, there it goes. He finally got it, but he's going to be... Oh, he's going to have to get this done quick here. He's definitely going to be at a disadvantage here coming to the restart. And that's Bagunia's race kind of in the hole there. Just finishing his service now.
The jacks there. Yep. Drops down. The jacks are down, and he's off and away. Pace car's coming out of the carousel right now, so he's really gonna have to book it.
Coming to the restart here, we'll have 16 laps to go, so almost basically a halfway break is what that ended up being. Thomas Bressi has led every lap so far. John Hathaway was our pole sitter, spun out on lap number 1, exiting the bus stop, has clawed his way back through the field, had a decent pit stop even though he missed his stall, and he'll be restarting on the outside of that 24 car. Keep an eye on that 41. He's going to be quick and hard to beat. Through turn number 7. Where is Bagunia? Coming through the bus stop still, so that's not going to be a good restart for him. Out of turn number 7, pace car pulls off, leaving it in the hands of Thomas Bressi in the 24. Green flag back in the air. 16 laps to go at Watkins Glen.
Bressi got a pretty good start over Hathaway. He's going to clear him down into turn 1.
Hathaway to the outside, contact there. Hathaway's going to run wide, was really aggressive on the outside, couldn't quite make it stick, and he's going to lose a spot here to the 48 of Massey. Or will Massey let him go? I think Massey's going to let him back in line. Behind him, the 66 and 88 are side by side up through the S's. They'll clear each other and run single file. Derbyshire back into pit lane for some odd reason, but back up to the top of the S's. Bressie cleared for the lead.
Yeah, it's got to be a pretty decent margin so far. I see Hensley out of line and Adams fighting for position.
Yeah, Hensley going to be moved back a spot here. Adams will take that away.
Back up towards the front of the field. We're going to have a race on our hands here for the lead, I imagine, pretty soon between the 41. We've seen his pace. Has a little bit of a damaged car at the moment. I don't think that's going to affect him too much.
No, I don't think it's going to slow him down very much at all. I think Bressie is probably a sitting duck here. Hathaway's just been quicker most of the night. Has been adapting to the conditions a little bit quicker than Bressie has, and it's just a matter of if the 41 can avoid the mistakes that he's made a couple times so far here tonight. It's closed up a couple tenths of a second last time through, compared to where he was on the back straightaway. Now, there's a big gaggle going on back here for, looks like 6th, 7th, and 8th are all pretty tightly wound together. Cody Tabor back on pit lane here, Finney. Not sure why he is back. And
yeah,
struggling to get back in his stall again. And Begunia almost blew up heading down into turn 1. Heard the engine rev really loud, but looks like he'll continue. Hensley and Adams side by side. Hensley will take that spot back away from the 88.
And these guys are probably not going to be done. I don't think this is going to be the last word said in this fight. Both of them seem to be pretty even on pace.
Well, there's a fight going on for the lead once again. Hathaway has caught Thomas Bressie 4/10 of a second back. It's only a matter of time at this point. Cloud cover shadowing Watkins Glen International. You see a little bit of damage on the rear bumper of that 24. Hathaway was very aggressive on the restart, but now looking to try to get that lead back after messing up on lap number 1.
Yeah, as they come across the stripe here, looking at the lap times, Hathaway was faster by 2/10 that last lap.
Closes big time in turn number 1 there, Finney. It took a huge chunk out of the lead. Will come out of turn number 1 about 2/10 of a second behind that 24.
Yeah, if he gets a good run here out of the S's, he can potentially have a shot here at the lead going to the bus stop.
I mean, I wouldn't even rush it that much. He's got the pace. I don't think he needs to push it here. Risk taking them both out, but at the top of the S's, he's real close, but not going to be close enough to make a move this time. Both of them kicking some dirt up through the inner loop.
And both of those guys are on full peg right now. Because Bressie, I think if Bressie knows too, if Hathaway gets around him now, there's very little chance that he can catch him back up.
And defending at Watkins Glen is not necessarily that difficult. If you just run a defensive line and avoid being crossed over, you can hang on to your spot pretty well here, and that's what the 24 is going to have to do. Just don't outbrake yourself and make it easy for the guy behind. Through turn number 7, now the 41 trying to get back on the power. We saw Hathaway close up a lot more in turn number 1, and we'll look from high above and see if he can do the same thing again. Yeah, just way better on the brakes than the 24, and closes up again.
Yeah, these guys ran nearly identical laps last time through, so they're both very even right now as they run.
Yeah, just a little bit quicker for Bressie, actually, last time by about 0.04 of a second. At the top of the S's, they're both wound up. 4th gear, 181 miles an hour for the 24 car down into the bus stop, jumping the curbs. The 41 more aggressive through there, though. He's out a little bit wider, and he's going to have a shot here into the carousel.
Yeah, these guys digging up the grass. If they dig up any more, they're going to have to call the lawnmower. Lawnmower or the gardener?
Call the lawnmower, Finian. Lawnmower is a noun. It could be a person, so nothing wrong with that.
I guess it could. But these guys basically taking it. You can see though that they are using up every inch of this track.
Down into turn number 7. Ooh, wow! The 41 apexed that perfectly, but he was a little bit hesitant getting back to the throttle, and the 24 pulls away on the front straight here.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious though if this is Hathaway's true speed, or if he's kind of holding up, trying to figure out a way around Bressie. Both of them just actually ran pretty fast. Oh, and actually there's a car on the wall.
Oh, it's Austin Derbyshire in the 64. Big time impact. Let's quickly go take a look at what happened. Oh, this is down into turn 1. Wheel hops it in here, I think. And did he Spin it. Oh, he spins it on exit. Slams into the tire barrier on the exit of turn number 1. Pass for the lead going on here, Finian. Almost. The 24 was able to defend, but Hathaway was alongside. Just couldn't quite get it done. 12 laps to go, coming to 11, and Hathaway is right there. He doesn't need to rush it. Like I said, he can take his time and pick where he wants to pass the 24. You just don't want to make a mistake and get yourself taken out of the battle.
Yeah, I mean, you really only have to lead 1 lap in this race, and that's the last one, so Hathaway just has to keep that in mind, and I think he could easily get the win here, just waiting on Rusty to use up his tires.
Into turn 7, takes a look. The 24 doesn't defend. Maybe the 41's testing something. We saw him use that move successfully earlier in the race, and curious to see if he'll keep that one in mind for later in this event. Brakes glowing hot on that 41 car. What about Bresci? He's being pretty smooth right now here, Finian. Doesn't look like he's driving quite as hard as Hathaway is.
Yeah, he seems...
Go ahead.
In some corners, he seems to be a little bit hard on his stuff, but other corners, he seems to be a little bit easier. So it's kind of differing between both of them for Bresci and Hathaway. Sometimes he seems smooth. Sometimes they look like they're ready to make the pass right then and there.
Down into the bus stop chicane, over the curbs. Whoa, big time improvement for the 41. He slips. They both slide through the bus stop, nose to tail, with 11 laps to go. Jordan McKeeboy. Sorry, Finian, to cut you off. Oh, looked like he was just blinking out. Thought he was off the racetrack. Holloway and Adams are still fighting. They're both wide in the chicane.
Yeah, Hensley just made the pass for 4th around Holloway. Holloway now in danger of falling back to 6th as Adams is trying to work on him.
So while the leaders are still fighting up ahead, we'll keep an eye on this battle with the 66 and the 88 for 5th place. Heading down into turn number 6 right now. Oh, contact. Adams drives into the back of the 66, sends him out wide, but I think he'll slow down and let him resume that position.
Yeah, I think that was probably just some miscommunication between both of them of where they thought the other car was going into the corner.
Heading back out front. Wow, Hathaway slid through the top of the S's. He is on the power, really understeered there. He could not get the nose to turn, and is now struggling to keep pace with the 24, looks like, through that part of the racetrack specifically, but certainly making up time in the slower sections like the bus stop and turn number 1.
Yeah, so really this is something we see a lot, really, where on road courses where some guys are better at certain sectors than other guys. And you see them, the gap kind of expand and contract as the lap goes on.
0.3 of a second now, down to 2 as they get to the braking zones. That 41 car is so much better down there, but it seems like the 24 is able to get the launch off of the corner. Pretty close here. Great corner exit for the 41 of Hathaway. Does he take a look down into turn 1? This is a hard place to make a move, but I don't think he's going to be close enough. Let's take a look at his right front brake again. Contact between the two.
Almost. I don't think they actually made contact.
I heard it.
Very close.
I heard it. Let's take a quick look at it. I definitely heard their contact there. We'll maybe look from up above and see.
Looked like netcode.
Oh, yeah, definitely
got some damage after.
Yeah, there was netcode there, but that's why I heard the contact. But still, battling nose to tail. They have not given up just yet. The 41 closing in. That damage doesn't seem to be hurting him right now. Big battle here for, looks like this will be for 5th place here. Holloway and Adams nose to tail with the lap car of Jared Matthew on the outside of them. And they'll have to make it to the bus stop here right to the inside. Looks like they'll get through there okay.
Yeah, they both got through there pretty calmly. Expecting to be a lot more chaotic.
Speaking of chaos, the 41 back to the rear bumper of Bresci. Got in there a little bit hot last time and almost rear-ended him and almost took him out. So they got to be real careful here. Coming to 8 laps to go. Just over 9 minutes of racing remaining in this race. The 41 hard on the brakes again. He's making up so much time through the center of turn 1. Right to the rear bumper of the 24 he goes. He's going to have a really good run up through the S's, but he might lose the nose from the arrow shadow here following the 24.
Actually gained a little bit of time on the entry to the S's. Has to back off the throttle just a little bit and they head down. Yeah, he's going to lose time. He actually slips mid-corner.
Yeah, I think he's really struggling with that, with the lack of downforce from following that 24 so close. But into the bus stop chicane now. This is an absolute dogfight for the lead here. Out of the carousel, trying to get that power down. They're both kind of running a similar line here. I thought we might see the 41 experiment like he was earlier in the race, but we haven't seen him do that quite yet.
Yeah, it seems to be.
Oh, dive, Finian!
Did you say that?
Oh!
Yeah, he dived to the inside, and just not enough there. We actually gained some time on Bressy.
That was just a mind game thing. I don't think he ever really intended to make that pass, but... Whoa, the 24 slips!
Bressy's sliding. Yeah.
Can the 41 capitalize? That was an opportunity. Looks like he won't be able to this time. But I think what the 41 might try to do is just stick the nose in there and make the 24 look up in his mirror and just second guess his braking zone for 1 second and make a mistake. That might be enough to get the 41 past Bressy. But Bressy can't fall for that. He's got to hold strong. And if you come in from behind and you're not alongside before the corner, the lead car still has the corner right. So we'll see if Hathaway abides by those as we head down the back straightaway. He's really close to that 24.
Oh, and slides into the bus stop, the 41.
It actually got into the grass there in the center of the inner loop. Got to be careful of the slowdown that's positioned there, but through the carousel, almost takes the bumper to him through the carousel this time through. Out of turn 5, heading towards turn 6, with less than 1/10 of a second separating the leaders. 7 laps to go here at Watkins Glen.
It looks like Hathaway lost a little bit of time doing that. He had to back off the throttle mid-carousel and that ruined his run on the straight.
Oh, to the inside!
Dive.
Almost takes out the 24 once again. Showed the nose, Finney. I think he's got to be a little bit more patient than that.
Yeah, I would say almost took both of them out there. That was a very risky move.
We're going to quickly go back and take a look at it. That was a dive bomb, but he managed to not wreck the 24. But let's see, did the 24 have to adjust his line? No, I mean, Bressy held pretty tight there considering he could have gotten himself taken out, but the 41 really trying hard, but it has hurt him now with 6 laps to go. He's fallen to just over half a second behind Bressy.
Yeah, he's going to chase that down again, and I mean, it has some damage to the nose of that car, and it's definitely not doing him any favors. But it's going to push him out. He's going to go wide, a little bit wide out off the S's, and down the back straightaway they go.
Nick Massey just waiting behind. Didn't Nick Massey, wasn't he the beneficiary of the 41 fighting someone else last week?
I believe he was. So
he ended up finishing 1 spot better than he was running after all that. And looks like the 41 is running the 24 back down. There's still time. Coming to 5 laps to go now. Just over 6 minutes of racing remaining. Can Bressy hang on? He's led the most laps here tonight. Hathaway's probably, arguably been the quickest car, but has not had the consistency. Or the he slips! Oh, into the front straightaway wall. Well, that's probably going to be battle for the win over.
That's race over. That's race over right there. Race win over.
And Bressy will drive away.
To the right front.
Yeah. And the left front, and the rear, and the front. And I think that steering might be all out of whack. Let's take another look. This is almost exactly what happened to Liam Sheen earlier in this event. Just gets on the power too soon. Up on the curb and clips a little bit of the grass and just cannot quite save it in time. And smashes that wall, and that's going to be pretty much game over for him. Question now is, can he hang on to third? Or second, excuse me.
I don't know. It's going to be kind of hard. I'm actually going to go on board and see it. He's actually really struggling for grip in the carousel. Sliding all over the place.
Well, Nick Massey is 2.1 seconds behind and close in 2/10 through the bus stop. He can see and smell blood in the water. He's going to have 4 laps to do it.
Well, Hathaway's steering actually surprisingly seems fine.
He lucked out there.
Yeah, that definitely could have been a lot worse off. So I think he might be able to just hang on with Nick Massey behind him.
Oh, Massey crashing on the front straight. Huge impact into the tire barrier there and the Armco.
Oh, no. And
just like that, Massey is going to be out of that battle for second. Now, is his steering okay? That looks pretty straight.
I would be surprised if it wasn't.
That looks pretty straight to me. These guys are getting pretty lucky with how they're impacting the wall.
Yeah, clearly. I usually just tap the wall. My steering's not wax.
That's always how it works, it seems. Well, the attrition rate has been relatively high tonight, but Bressy has made no mistakes.
I don't know why I think part of these guys are slipping just a little bit. It might be due to this is the fact that the track temperature right now, 107.
Yeah, and it's been cooler than that for most of the race with all the cloud cover we had, so it's catching people off guard. And the thing is from lap to lap it changes so much that you go through there on lap 15 and it's fine. Lap 16, it's hot and greasy.
Yeah, 118 now, so it's climbing, as we're in pretty much direct sunlight at this point, and not really many clouds around the track.
Thomas Bressi in the number 24 Exalta Camaro will take 3 laps to go now. John Hathaway is 4.7 seconds back out of the battle for now, and running about a half a second slower than that 24 car is Nick Massey, now 12 seconds back from Hathaway after he had his own incident on the front straight. The closest battle on the racetrack right now is for 5th. Joel Holloway trying to hang on from Joshua Adams. These guys have been racing each other the whole night.
Yeah, they've been pretty calm and collected. Both of them. I see Adams spin.
Oh, well, I guess that's one way to spin.
Almost looks like he planned that.
Well, I'll give him style points, but he's going to lose a couple spots here. Here comes Cole Bagunia. And Bagunia, man, this has been a struggle for him. Has been running really competitive lap times, but obviously he got put out of the running with that pit stall incident. Adam's just going to come in and take tires, I think, or something.
Probably, but yeah, that mistake from Adams, though, is put Bagunia back up into 6th. Restarted in and around 9th place, so solid recovery for Bagunia nonetheless.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Adams just called it quits here. I mean, that's pretty frustrating.
Yeah, they definitely, especially with such little laps to go left in this race. Leader comes around now, 2 laps to go.
Just under 5 miles of racing remaining. Thomas Bressi has led the majority of the laps here tonight. Started in 2nd, was able to avoid the spinning 41 car on lap number 1 through the bus stop chicane. Hathaway clawed his way back from 8th all the way to 2nd, but then struggled behind the 24. Took a couple looks, ended up crashing. Nick Massey behind him also faced a similar fate. Still hanging on to the podium, but Tyler Hensley is looking pretty hungry behind, running a second quicker than Massey and might be able to eke away 3rd place finish if Massey messes up even a little bit more.
And here's a fun little thing too. Bressi ran a 113.7, and actually Hathaway's time was a 113.8. So Hathaway's actually keeping some pretty decent pace with the amount of damage to his car. Unfortunately, it's going to be too little, too late, and too much damage to that car to really keep up with, to really maintain with Bressi at this point.
Yeah, almost a 5-second lead for that 24 car. Now it'll take something really going wrong. Actually, Joshua Adams has returned to the racetrack now, but he's in 9th. But coming
He's actually
through,
about to go a lap down.
Yeah, this is not going to be a good night for the 88 car regardless. Coming out of turn number 7, back to the start-finish line. White flag in the air for Thomas Bressi. He's had a couple good races so far, a couple not-so-good races, but I don't think any of them has been as flawless as this. Down into turn number 1. He's got 2.4 miles left. Got some lap traffic just up the road, but other than that, he's got a home free to the checkered flag here at the Glen.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to this one, too. It'll be his first win of the season. And definitely a long time coming for him.
Down in...
It's kind of...
Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's kind of funny. We usually see him sliding and manhandling of the cars, but this is probably the smoothest I've ever seen him drive.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point, because, he's known... I would call him the Kyle Larson of the series, always driving in... And it's incredible to watch. I mean, he slides the car around, he'll drift it and send the rear out, he'll ride the wall at Darlington, all sorts of fantastic stuff. But when it comes to road course racing, this guy is as smooth as ever. It looks like he's driving a GT3 car out there. Coming through the final 2 corners, winless so far in the fall season of 2018 is Thomas Bressi in that number 24 Exalta Camaro. But out of turn number 7, winless no more. He'll collect his first victory of the season and a win here at Watkins Glen International. Thomas Bressi is your winner. Woo, celebrating.
There's the sliding at the line.
They got it all out, got all of his system right there. John Hathaway, got to be disappointed with that 2nd place finish. Definitely had the fastest car here tonight, but just couldn't make it stick. Nick Massey coming through turn 7 now. He will finish in 3rd place. Another good top 3 result for Massey, especially after his 2nd place finish last week at Indianapolis.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to try to help him in the points, and then Tyler Hensley's going to come home in 4th. Joel Holloway is going to hold on for 5th place as Adams ran into some trouble, and Bagunia is going to come for a nice rebound in 6th.
Yeah, not the night Bagunia wanted, but it certainly wasn't as bad as it could have been after struggling to get that car serviced under the caution flag on lap 15. Jordan McKeevoy will come around and roll through for position number 7. Kevin Jadrosic, a little bit of a slow start, but he kept that nose pretty clean on that 6 car, and he will roll in P number 8 here tonight. Joshua Adams has pulled off the track. Cody Tabor, the last one to complete this race. He'll roll in position number 11, but he's the last car on the racetrack. So Thomas Bressi collects his first one on the season. We're going to watch him come down and do some burnouts, hopefully down in the runoff room in turn 1. That's the best place to do it. See some congratulatory bumps. Yep.
Yep. Give him a nice little love tap to the back bumper of that car.
He's gotten quite a couple love taps on the rear bumper of that car, judging by the whole rear bumper cover.
Yeah, the shape of a Ford Fusion. Funnily enough.
A nice smooth curve. Well, we've never doubted this man's skill. And he was really, really good on the ovals last year. And this year he showed that he also has prowess on the road courses. He'll come back to the start-finish line. Collect that checkered flag. And hopefully we'll see some burnouts here in a moment from Thomas Bressi in that number 24 car. 66 pulling up alongside, giving some congratulatory revs there. 46 also doing some dual burnouts on the front straightaway. That's cool. That is pretty cool to see. Will we make it 3? Will Holloway join in?
Looks like he's trying to.
There we go. That's a lot of smoke there, guys. Holloway will join the fun as well, but Bressi is your winner. Hensley celebrating a solid 4th place. Hey, can't argue with that. What a win for Bressi, though. That was just... He was so cool under pressure, even when the 41 was throwing those dives there. That would have worked if Bressi had backed out of it and let him have the spot out of fear of getting wrecked. But he held his line and didn't let the 41 intimidate him, and it certainly worked out for the 24.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, we're going to jump to break real quick. We'll be right with your winner and a couple others here in just a minute. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back live here to Sim TV. We're here with your race winner, Thomas Bressi, in the number 24 Exalta Camaro. What a race that was there with the 41 of Hathaway. You stole the lead away on lap number 1 after Hathaway spun out, and you managed to hold him off late in the going as he was charging hard up your inside, but you didn't let him phase you, and you won the race here. Tell us about how that battle was.
Yeah, that was that was pretty intense because we had. I mean, I've told you guys before, just earlier in the week. I mean, I really like the road courses, and I was fully expecting to come here. And I mean, I had it circled like I was going to do everything I could to win, but 41 definitely had some pretty serious paces. I mean, we saw in practice and qualifying, so I was a little worried, but just kind of looking at what he was doing, I felt like I was maybe a little bit more consistent, wasn't making quite as many like little mistakes and things like that, and I could just like that last run when he was right behind me. I mean, I feel like I've done pretty well here before. I've done the 6 hours of the Glen here before with my teammates and stuff, but I think that's probably the best and the cleanest I've ever driven. Just trying to hold him off. I know he was really trying. I mean, we were talking afterward, and he was saying that you know, he didn't really have great straight line, I guess, from some damage or something. But so he was really trying to get it under the brakes, and I was thinking he was kind of hanging out. Maybe he was going to try and move me or something like the last couple laps or something, because I fully expected him to just blow my doors off. But I guess it kind of worked out there. I guess. I mean, I'm glad we finally got a win. I was hoping it would come a little bit sooner, and maybe on an oval or something. But we'll take it, and kind of makes good points tonight. Makes up for the not so hot race at Iowa earlier in the year, and it's just it's good to win again, I guess. We're back in black with the 24 car tonight, and we were back in victory lane, so I'll take it.
All right, well, it's obviously a successful night. Congratulations on the win, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thanks, guys.
All right, see you later. Next, we're going to talk to the second place driver, John Hathaway Jr., driver of the number 41. Hi, John. That was quite the battle you had there, but obviously I think you wanted one spot better, and you almost had it a couple times. Walk us through those last couple laps.
Yeah, well, the race really was rough at the very first lap when I decided to run out of all talent and crash out of the bus stop. I had a weird bounce off like one of the rumble strips, and the car spun out, and I was really lucky not to get hit. And then from there, it was just keeping cool and driving back up through the field. I got into it with one of the cars, and I took a lot of damage. I had it was really hurting the car, and drove up to third, got to second out of the pit stop, and was racing with Tom there. And it was just, I don't know. I can't be disappointed considering what I did, but for me, I was just. I was way faster than he was, and just couldn't pull it off because I had no straight line. I would get into the corner, get through the corner better than him, and then on exit he would just rip me with a straight line. But he did a great job. He wasn't making any mistakes, so he was flawless. So hats off to him for the win. He deserved it. He did a great job.
Well, yeah. Regardless, you still finished second, so a great week, especially after Indianapolis last week. John, thanks for talking to us, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Thanks,
guys. Take care. Have a happy holidays, guys.
Thank you. You as well.
You too as well.
All right, next we're going to talk to third place Nick Massey, driver of the number 48 car. Hey, Nick, sorry to grab you out of your conversation there. Well, another podium this week, another good week for you, but it wasn't without its trials and tribulations, especially towards the end there. Walk us through what happened.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really have much for the 24 or the 41 there. They're definitely the best cars, clearly, throughout the race. But I thought I had decent speed there. I mean, usually road courses are hit or miss for me today. I just found something that worked. I was able to put down a pretty good pace, but yeah, I had a clean car there towards the end, and then I just made one mistake there, 4 laps to go. I just came off the last corner there and nosed it in the fence, but I didn't really lose much because I had a big enough gap. But yeah, I was hoping there on that start. I saw the 4 and 41 racing pretty hard. I was hoping I could stay close enough in case something happened, but it really happened, so just cruise to third.
Well, also, we wanted to mention that the track temperature fluctuated probably about 20 degrees over the course of the race when the cloud cover came over. Did you feel that inside the car? Because we did definitely notice more people sliding around when the track was hot and sunny.
Yeah, I noticed it a little bit. It was pretty cool, actually, because, I think it's my first race, really, with the new update and the dynamic track and weather and stuff like that. So it's pretty interesting. especially in qualifying too. You want to go out when it's cooler and stuff like that. But yeah, I think definitely kind of did notice that a little bit. You had to take the corner and kind of anticipate what the car was going to do. So it definitely made it a little more challenging and interesting.
All right, Nick. Well, certainly another solid finish for you this week. Third for the 48. Thanks for talking to us. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yeah, have a good break, guys.
Yeah, you too. All right, now we're going to talk to Cole Pagunia, driver of the number 7 car. Cole, obviously things did not really end the way you wanted to. Some pit stop struggles there under the caution period. Walk us through what happened there.
Yeah, we got a really good car, but under that stage, came down pit road and decided I was too far right. This pit box here real sensitive, and so I was too far right, and it just slipped through my head that I kept moving further and further right, trying to get them to service my car, not realizing I needed to be moving left. So it was just like a brain fart moment right there, and it took me. I came back around and tried it again, and I finally figured it out that I need to be moving left. And by the time I finally got tires and everything, they were already green. And I was so far behind, I pretty much had no chance to top 5. I still was able to come back to 6, so I got a decent finish out of it. But yeah, it was just a stupid moment there on pit road.
Yep. Well, a valiant effort to climb your way back to 6, Cole. It was fun watching you carve through the field. Thanks for talking to us, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
See you.
All right, and that'll conclude our interviews here tonight. I thank all those drivers who are doing that. So I was instructed by Cody Tabor that next week, Finian, we are off for the couple weeks here in the Hardline Midwest Powersource Cup Series, but next week we are going to do a fun run at the Charlotte Roval at the same time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. So that'll be coming up on next Friday. And then tomorrow night we have virtual Racing League action from Talladega. And then Sunday we're with the SCARS Winter Series Class B from Richmond. That'll be on Sunday night, 10 o'clock. Actually, is it 9 o'clock Eastern? Do you know what the time it is? I think it's 9 or 10.
I want to say 9-ish.
The link will go up later this weekend, but you'll see that coming up. Monday, we're off, and Tuesday, we're with the Fuel Cup Series finale from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. That's what's coming up. We'll see you tomorrow night at Virtual Racing League. Thanks for watching. Have a great night, and don't forget to donate to David Cater's GoFundMe there in the video description. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great night.